It's on. So welcome to the next episode of Shift Happens Catalyst Conversations, where we talk about change, transformation, making changes in your life, and also helping other people make changes. And with me today, I have somebody very amazing, Piotr, and he knows a lot about change because I feel that he's always changing. He's always evolving into a better, higher version of himself, and he's also helping many other people become somebody better. Not actually somebody else, but like a better version of themselves, I would say. So first off, let's start going from some place. So tell me about one big shift, transformation that you have made in your life, either a recent one or maybe something from your past that always keeps coming up as your big story, because I know you have many stories to tell.
Absolutely precise. So welcome everyone. As Silja mentioned, for me, change is the necessary part of our evolution and our growth. And I feel the more you accept that change is in your control and you're able to bring out the best version of you through each single step towards change and being in change, you can honestly see how then change becomes easier to accept. Because I feel, and I'll touch on that definitely later on as well, but I feel especially with the clients that I have, that people want to change, but only logically, but actually their entire body tells them that don't change. Change is scary. You don't know what's going to happen next. What if? And all the what ifs are obviously the negative, low vibrational what ifs. So we are very scared of change. But I feel once you start understanding how important it is to evolve, because for me, change is evolution. And you might sometimes believe that you're changing not for the better, or you had to take a job that you never really dreamed of, or maybe even be with a partner that you're not really fully committed with. I feel like all change is good, because in the long run, I feel like you'll see how it all lined up for you to be more yourself, authentic, vulnerable, and the highest version of you, even though sometimes you might feel like this isn't the change that I wanted. And I feel like even the change that you don't want is the change that will be benefiting you in the long run. And sometimes we as humans are not connected to being in the moment, and we just want everything to happen right now, here and there, where actually time is an illusion and time just collapses. So there is no timeline. Time is just rigid. So we feel like everything that we are bringing into our reality, every single change, we want it to be here and now and quickly and giving us the best and greatest result, when that's not the case and never will be. So we need to let go of that. In regards to my own transformation and a story that I can share, and as you mentioned, I've got plenty of stories to share, but I think the recent one that I really haven't spoken about before is the change in my mindset and belief about money and wealth. And that has really changed everything for me, how I am in my business, how I feel about money, wealth, success, etc. So in my case, it was all about bringing the modalities that I teach and guide people through, like breathwork or somatic experiences, meditations, visualizations, journaling, strength training, mindfulness as you strength train. So anything that kind of combines the mind, body, energy, I was able to use these modalities for myself and see how I can release and remove a block that was holding me back from bringing in millions, or the client that has millions, and believe that I am worthy of having it, and actually money is good. Because that was a big shift for me. That was a massive change in my entire energy system, because I could feel how that used to really prevent me from going after what I believed I always wanted. I always do these quotations because it's like you most of the time we think that we're ready to be a millionaire, or we want this perfect job or this perfect partner, but actually that's a logical thought through the mind, but actually our body response is no. you're not ready.
So you were mentioning body already for the second or third time here. So
I love the body.
the truth, in fact, is in the body.
Yeah.
Even if you keep telling, yes, I want to be a millionaire, yes, I want to have this magical relationship, I want to have this business, I want to have this body, even the body might be like, no, you're telling yourself a lie.
Absolutely, it's all in our body. We focus so much on learning, and educating ourselves and everything, understanding everything through the logical, through the mind, and but the mind is quite often the one that is holding us back. Even though, again, as I said, even though we might think that we want it all and we're ready to have it all, but subconsciously and in every cell of our body, the body holds on to all your old stories, patterns, beliefs, conditioning, your parents' beliefs, your cultural beliefs, your religion, whatever that is. It's holding on to each cell of the body, and I call them cells of wisdom. So for us to understand, not through the logic, but actually through feeling in the body, that we are a container of trillions of cells. And if you think that, and if you see, I kind of like to play around with the word think and feel, because logically, if you're listening to this and you don't understand what I'm talking about, you might think that, well, this is absurd. This is what does it mean? Trillion cells in my body, and the body, holds the score, and the body keeps all these memories in its cells. But it's true. The body does hold on to trauma, suffering, pain, and you might experience that even by having a pit in your stomach, or having acid reflux, or feeling more pain on your right side of the body, left side of the body, injuries and all. Quite often, actually, are because of a emotional blockage, trauma that is holding on to your left, right, masculine, feminine side, etc. So the body knows, and if we work with the body, and we can then really see and feel that it's just a story that was holding us back from bringing that loving partner into our reality, that job, that career, that travel, that money, that whatever that is, that health, that wealth. We have to first tap into the body, be connected to the body, to understand that it's stored there somewhere as a belief, as a thought, as a conditioning, as a program, so that we can then filter it out, unpack ourselves from it, which is the program that I teach, Unpack Yourself, because then you can really start unpacking that belief without judging it, without fearing it, without thinking that you're not good enough, not worthy enough, but actually start unpacking it and then resolve it and dissolve it, and then the body will be ready to see that, wow, that block was just an old pattern that was just holding me back. But now the energetic state allows me to bring in the love, because I love myself, the health, because I can appreciate the health that I already have, the wealth, because I'm already appreciating of all the money that I already have, and even the expenses that I have, or the debt that I have, actually is almost like a thank you for the services that debt has provided me with. So
you get to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I really like to look at it that way. It's like it is a real mind-body connection, where we need to tap into the body to understand that the mindset can then surrender to what the body wants, and then you can manifest whatever you want in your life.
Yeah, coming back to this unpack yourself, when the suitcase is unpacked, when the luggage is unpacked, it's like, all over the place, or just in your wardrobe and put away. And if it's unpacked, you can't carry it anymore, because it's not part of a luggage anymore. So when you unpack yourself, you basically drop all the stuff and you stop carrying it with you. So you start traveling lighter, you start living lighter.
That's it. Exactly. That's it. And you use the word that I just love to use as well. You become a lighter being. We are carrying so much in our backpack or suitcase, and we just keep carrying it. And it's all surface level BS. It's stuff that we don't need. And at some point in our life, it served us a purpose. Like if you were 10 years old and you were bullied, of course you told yourself a little bit of a story to protect yourself. But that story, won't serve you anymore when you're 20, 30 or 40. If you had a broken relationship in the past, you might blame yourself for that relationship, but then every other relationship that comes after that might literally be a mirror of the previous relationship, because again, you're not ready. Your mind protects you because you don't want to be hurt again. And if you don't want to be hurt again, the mind will do everything in its power for you to not see the potential man or woman that is out there, for you to be connected with you and form a beautiful relationship, because you just be so in your mind that this will again be someone that will hurt me, or you will attract. This is the beauty about law of attraction and manifesting, because so many of us, if you believe in manifestation or if you don't believe in manifestation, it doesn't matter. You manifest anyway. Like, if you believe in law of attraction or if you don't believe in law of attraction, it doesn't matter, because you attract anyway. So it's better to actually start understanding that anything that you say, feel, believe, you will bring into your reality more of. So, if you want more love, you have to understand that from that point of love towards yourself, towards your current experiences as a human being, the love for nature, love for the world, love for whatever, it has to come from that source, not from a lack that, not good enough, not worthy enough, or hurt from the past. But again, only if we can heal that and unpack that layer, because it's all layers. It's all about the layers. And if we can keep on unpacking the layers and start seeing how, after a while, absurd, with forgiveness and compassion and empathy towards yourself, but how absurd some of these stories are and have been, but you see how they were protecting you at the age of 15, 16, after your, I keep referring back to the love aspect. But in any case, if it's money-wise as well, anything at all, if you've got a distorted body image, again, it might have been something from the past that your mind wanted to protect you from experiencing bullying, for example, because you have a certain body type. So you just kept yourself hidden and kept yourself, away from the possibility to change, because you just got really scared. You might again logically think, yes, I do want change and I do want, this to happen, but your body is like, no, because do you not remember the last time when you tried and you failed? So are you a failure? So it's almost like you start this, it's not a monologue, it's a group session of all the voices in your head from all your experiences of life that are coming to the table, and suddenly everyone is your narrative to your story. Everyone starts to share, do you not remember when you were 16 and you had this? But actually, do you also, and then somebody else's voice comes in, and like your mother, for example, your father, and like, do you not know that this is also going to happen to you if you do this? And so then suddenly your entire mindset is like, no, I don't want this, although you're like, I'm ready, I can change, but your body and your mind is like, no.
So would you say that it's about building a better connection between your mind and body? That's
Absolutely.
kind of the key to get rid of the limiting beliefs, the blocks, the stories that you keep telling yourself, breaks, whatever you call them.
The first thing that everyone has to do is acknowledge that there's a voice. Acknowledge that you are not the voice. You need to really acknowledge that there is a voice, but that's not you. You're not the voice. You're not the story. You're not your pain. You're not your challenges. A lot of people are staying in their suffering because it's a comfort zone. They're unwilling to change, and they're staying.
Suffering is a comfort zone. Oof.
Yeah,
this is like,
Yeah.
But
Suffering absolutely is a comfort zone, because if you tell yourself a story that has become then your identity, because if you think about it, again, feel about it, a thought becomes a belief, then becomes your personality. It will become who you are. So you suddenly, and then everything around you, you're searching for proof to that. And you find it, because you've programmed your mind to find the proof. So for example, if you go on a date, but the last 3 dates were not successful, like you did not find the partner, you can, even though you might have the greatest, wish that this is going to be my partner, but there might come this creeping in voice that says, but probably it won't be, because probably like the three last times you already, you didn't meet anyone that was with you, that could understand you. No, maybe you'll be better by yourself. Actually, be by yourself. So you're already going to this date with already the mindset that this is not going to work out. So your entire energetic field is already showing that. And then you're searching for proof. So then you're, for example, even asking questions. So what do you like? And let's say the person responds back with something that shows you that, oh, you're not aligned with each other, without actually maybe giving permission to, that's actually interesting. I could also, for example, salsa dance. If somebody's a salsa dancer and you've never danced salsa, you're like, actually, why not give it a try? I could also be salsa dancing, but you straight away go into the mindset of, no, he's a salsa dancer or she's a salsa dancer. That's something completely different to me. I would never date a salsa dancer. Salsa dancers cheat. You start building up a whole story and script, because again, it's protection mechanism, because you know that your comfort zone is being alone. Your comfort zone is being in this, and although you might really I want a partner, I want love, I want this, I want money, I want this job, but everything else shows you, but you're not ready for it.
Yeah, I already feel when you use this phrasing, I want, this already has like some kind of sense of lack in it. 100%. I want because I don't have it. If I already have it, it's maybe like very easy to forget and cherish what you have. Very often I feel that this already carries this sense of lack and scarcity in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And from a low vibrational point, or from fear, from lack, from scarcity, from neediness, you will never attract anything that is of a high vibration, that you really, could potentially attract, because everyone can attract, everyone can manifest, and everyone can attract. So as I mentioned before, why believe in these lies that are not serving you, to attract more of what you can have and want to have and be with. Like, even to give this, this just came to me, and I actually feel like this is a powerful way of believing and thinking about it. Like, let's say you attract a partner into your life, and so why not? Because all of us have energies, right? We are energy. So, but you have the masculine and the feminine energy in you. So, for example, if you want to attract a partner of the opposite sex or the same sex, why not see the beauty of your traits in your energy that would match, for example, the other partner? So, for example, appreciate your masculine side. So what is in your masculine so that you're happy with? For example, determination, action planning, logical, right? Feminine, sensitivity, flow, sensuality, but why not then focus on these attributes that you already have in you and see, because if you don't love these parts in you, you cannot attract.
I feel that for me, because very often I'm even more masculine than feminine, I'm a little bit scared of this, because, that's also, of course, a story, a limiting belief told by somebody else that, if you're too masculine as a woman, you won't attract a partner. Nobody will want this. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be lifting heavy stuff. You shouldn't do like a sensual striptease dance, because men don't like it. It's like, no. And don't be this and don't be that. But of course, these are not my stories.
Exactly. So if you really start observing that and start cherishing that energy in you, you'll actually be able to open up and see that you can attract from that space where you appreciate and love these parts in you, because all of us are carrying these parts, and some of them obviously are dominant, some not. But if you start repulsively saying, oh no, I hate my masculine side, well, why do you think that you will attract a masculine man?
Yeah, maybe a year ago I was in a workspace. Definitely I was in a workshop where we talked about masculine and feminine energy, and we also took like a little quiz, and I think I was like 60-80% masculine. At first I was like, do I? And even I was like, there was a question, would you rather choose happiness or success? I was like, I want to choose success. I'm like, what? Why? But it's now I feel that I also made more peace with it. I'm like, yes. Also in human design as a manifestor, I have this divine masculine energy when I'm like in action mode, but also in the rest mode, which is a big part of manifestor life. I also have a lot of feminine side, and now I feel that I'm appreciating the masculine side more. And if there's a man who can't handle this, I don't want to know you. I don't want to.
But also, on another occasion, start even investigating that. Because that's a belief. If a man is out there who will not want me to be masculine, I don't want you as well. But that's also a belief, because and then that again protects you from from exploring different men, because again, everyone's different. Everyone's different. I only, when I tapped into my feminine and was able to really see that I am an emotional being, because we all are, right? And so many men are just hiding away their emotions because they're just scared of that feminine energy within them. But we are, eternal beings having these two energies, which are serving us in both situations, right? You want to be more masculine when you do decision making, logical planning, right? Invoicing, asking for a pay rise. Beautiful. Be in the masculine. Be more in the feminine when you want to be more into that flow, into like nurturing, into connection to the earth, into connection to yourself, to your heartbeat. So there is ideal times for everything. So from that space, if you start tapping into your own energy and start really connecting to yourself without blaming yourself, without judging yourself, really also forgiving, like honestly, or forgiving your own stories that you had about yourself, that you're not good enough, not worthy enough, you're too old, too thin, too fat, too blah, blah, all of these BS, they're in the backpack. Right? If you start really unpacking that backpack, see how absurd they all are, because nobody is too old, nobody is too fat, nobody is too masculine, nobody is too feminine, nobody.
Yeah, I think for me it's also a past story, which is actually limiting me, because I was married, now I'm divorced almost 5 years already. And the reason why I got divorced, okay, he was the nicest man and he still is a very good person and I really like him. But I felt that I couldn't be as feminine as I wanted to be in the relationship, because I was carrying the masculine all the time, because he wasn't stepping into that role that much. And I was like, okay, then I have to do it. Of course, communication problems, I would do it so differently right now. But maybe there's like some part of me subconsciously, or not maybe, definitely, that's afraid of being too masculine, because maybe this way I will once again attract somebody who's more in the feminine, and then again have to carry all the weight, and then again it's going to end bad. It's like, so it's limiting belief and story.
Absolutely. But then again, this what you just shared, and thank you so much for sharing that, is, and I hope you don't mind me stripping this and removing the layers, because my question then would be, where do you have that avatar of the masculine from?
I don't even know.
So this is another big challenge for a lot of people, where we, again, we believe that this is exactly how a man should be, right? Should be, or could be, and then we feel like, and now we have to carry this, like it's almost like, and then of course, if you even look at my body language, like I carry this burden, even what you were doing as well, like carry, I had to carry. So you're already like, your body's already like, no, I will not do that again. I do not want that man, and etc. So there's already like, you're limiting the possibility. I understand, like it's not about attracting what you obviously don't want, but at the same time, going a little bit deeper and seeking, where is that picture of an ideal man coming from? And maybe that is a distorted image. Maybe and let's be completely honest, our cultures, we both are coming from an East European bloc. So, like every country, every continent has its stories. We have our story, in all fairness, East European women are very tough, hard women. And I know that because like my grandmothers and my mother, like very tough. And it's very challenging to be a man. And again, this could be also my belief, but actually, this is what I've noticed in the past, where it could be very challenging for a man to step up, because the woman is already so masculine. It's already like in the woman. Every single woman that I know from Poland is actually a fighter, a warrior, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying every man next to that woman will feel like they're less.
I feel that something is clicking in my mind right now, and I'm kind of having this memory coming back to me when I was a child. And my father was always away on the sea, because he was working 2 weeks on the sea, and then he was like home. And very often my mother was saying, "Oh, I have to do this and that because I have to be the man now. I have to put together something. I have to paint the radiators." So it was, it's coming from the childhood. I'm not saying that my parents did something wrong, but they also had their own parents who did something, and it's generational thing. But of course, I can be the turning stone. I can start changing this pattern, and the next generation. I hope there is my successors coming at some point. The next generation can already be different. I can be different as well.
Absolutely. We have the power to stop generational pain and challenges with us if we are committed and we understand it and understand that it's work that needs to be done and needs to be done. But also, and of course, I wish children upon you, absolutely, but also look a little bit broader, because legacy is left with the people that you interact with. So you don't know who potentially already took so much of your energy and so much of your thoughts, and because we so often have, and I had this mindset as well. And my parents told that as well to me. Like, where are your children so you can pass on the genes or whatever. I'm like, I'm actually passing on more like teachings and wisdom than genes. Like, what are genes? Genes is just like, what are, like, I mean, I'm not going to be so obsessed about that. There's already 8 billion people around this world. It's okay. If I have a child, phenomenal. If I don't have a child, it's okay as well. There is no must, or this is, this will make me a human if I have a child. No, I'm okay to leave legacy amongst what I say, maybe even this podcast, so that people can have something to, Piotr has impacted me with this and that. And that's kind of my child that, took that on or whatever. And I feel like I'm blessed with having many mentors in my life, coaches, that I also feel like I am their child, and obviously it's a slightly different concept of having a child and being a child to a mother, etc. But anyways, but what you said, exactly, like the big thing that I really want to mention here, I have to mention it. Never ever, well, okay, maybe not never ever, maybe 99% of the time, try to look a little bit past blaming your parents and generations and your culture and your religion, whatever,
These
and again,
are just excuses, kind of.
Yeah, but again, I want to be very mindful that whoever's listening here, and if you had an abusive childhood and if you were beaten up, I'm not giving any excuses to your dad or your mom that was doing that. 100% not. But we are right now a generation that is really blessed with a lot of therapy, coaching, social media, internet. And like, when I looked through that lens at my parents, I really started to look with more love and compassion and forgiveness. And I started to really see that they've done the best they could. And what I can only do right now is reparent myself and bring my inner child out as often as possible and play with it and say that it's safe, you're protected, I love you for as you are. Where my dad and my mom, they are amazing human beings. I love them so much, but also the love comes from forgiving them and forgiving myself, thinking that they could have done something different.
I can give a quite good example here. So right now my mother is visiting, and last week I joined one workshop online, and there was some kind of like interaction and also like breathwork. So we know what the breathwork is, and when I finished this call, my mother was like, "Okay, what were you doing? Who were you talking to? And what was it all about?" I was like, "Okay, how do I explain all this?" I'm like, breathing and stuff. It's like I was learning how to breathe, and she was like, you really have to like learn how to breathe." Because for her, all these things like breathwork and therapy and coaching, and why do you talk to some people who tell you how to live your life and guide you? It's like, don't you kind of like know already? So it's a different generation. She's going to be 65 in a few days, so it's fully different generation.
Absolutely, but I stopped being like concerned what other people think or feel or how they interpret or what their thoughts are or what I do, for example, because being a breathwork facilitator and speaking at events, corporate events, group events, about health and well-being, unpacking stress, and giving people tools how to manage anxiety through breath awareness, breath work, through meditation, mindfulness, journaling, all these practices. Like I am showing people a way to get out of the mind into the body, to unpack again all these beliefs and stories that are holding us back. And I love when people ask me, because it almost allows me to be the key holder, right? I'm the one being like, I'm the key holder, and this is the lock, this is the door, I'm the key holder, I can give you the key. Do you want us to keep on unpacking and opening this door into this brand new? And again, and people initially will definitely be, I don't understand what this is, this is silly. I have this all the time. What do you mean you teach people how to breathe? I breathe. Ha, 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 ha. And I'm like, okay, come back to my own breath, no judgment, love and peace, it's all well. Like, but then something happens in the person, and maybe they will not show that around you that day or the next week or month, but you might have opened something or given them a key that they are unable to use yet, but they will see how you embody what you do. So they will see how that breathwork is helping you. They will see how that meditation is helping you. And again, you're not trying to, this is not you trying to be some sort of guru or showing up, or I'm going to do 3 hours of meditation and 5 hours of breathwork, and then I'm going to take an ice cold bath, and then I'm going to go for a run, around the hill. No, that's a little bit, I feel. I mean, whatever works for you, but that's, for me, that's not how we can tap into the body. But with that kind of permission of really being through all the modalities with ourselves, because then people will see that there's something shifting in your energy. You will become really this person that they haven't never seen before. You start radiating joy, love, happiness, all the high vibrations that they don't understand how to connect with. I mean, they might have connected with it through all the ways that society showed them, addictions, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, social media. So they might have all this, like, oh, I need to get this, where in fact you don't. You can actually, through breathwork, through breath awareness, through nature, through walks, you can really be so present and so with yourself that this is then allowing another person to actually finally find that door which you've showed them before, and now they can put that key in and open that door and walk past all their old beliefs that are left behind, and now they enter into a brand new world, which is it's limitless, abundant, and it's just all possible.
I guess it's about being the example, inspiration. I know that in your human design you have number 6 as well, so you are meant to be the role model and kind of like the exemplary human. And even your profile is like regal authority figure.
Yeah. Yes.
And for me, I understand that I had like a lot of impact and I inspire many people. But the problem for me seems to be that people don't tell me. So I mean, maybe even moving something very massive in them, but very often they don't even tell me.
Why do you need them to tell you?
It's like, I guess I feel like I need some kind of, not like validation, but motivation to keep moving. I keep doing it because
an acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement. So this one, I'm like, oh, this actually, because for me it's really important to have like a legacy and make impact. I've always felt that I want to do something bigger. I want to activate people, initiate. That's why I now started doing like catalyst coaching. That's why I want to help people start big stuff. And if they don't tell me that it's working, I'm like, I might stop, and I don't want to stop. So kind of I also need some catalyst for myself to be the catalyst. Because if nobody tells me that this works, I'm like, yes, I know that I had the power, but I need a little bit of like, validation is such a bad word. It sounds so ego.
Yeah.
But kind of like,
I mean,
proof that, do it.
People are not used to give constructive positive feedback. Constructive positive feedback, not constructive negative feedback, because there is a difference here. People are are prone to tell you what you've done wrong rather than what you've done right.
This sounds very much like Estonians, just complaining and
Polish,
whining and like,
absolutely.
everything is bad. And
Hey,
if you-
Polish people.
and if you don't say anything, it means that everything is amazing. But if you're like, people don't say anything if it's fine and okay.
And actually, funny now we're talking about this because it's actually part of this topic now as well. Because I remember, and I wonder how you actually thought about it as well. But I remember first time meeting Americans.
They are so happy.
Right? And I thought, why are they so fake?
Yeah.
How can they be so, Irish people. I moved to Ireland. I love Irish people. But when I first moved to Ireland, I was like, why is everyone asking me how I am? Why is everyone asking me like, and with a smile on their face? And again, because you see, and this shows you how an upbringing makes you exactly as part of that upbringing and part of that nation, culture, etc., without you even realizing it. So this is already in your body. It's genetics, but it's in your body. It's scripted in your body.
It's true.
That if you start showing, oh, I'm good, I'm well, something is wrong with her. Or another big thing in Poland, don't tell people your dreams because they will take them away from you or they will wish you unwell. Like what the, like how silly and absurd is this? Right? So, but again, I feel this is why I love traveling and seeing how different cultures, religions, and people are in a completely different mindset and body set and an energetic frequency. Because you could see that. And again, what I really love is for every person, because I do that all the time, question. And not question in a low vibration or in a negative way, but just question like, why am I thinking this way? Why do I think that person is fake? Why do I think that person is more masculine than what is my idea of what have I got in my program? And again, it's more about, so the more you unpack, the more you start having fun with it. And the subconscious really likes fun, and the body really likes fun. It likes to be enjoyed because our childlike state was always playful and curious. So if you start being curious about the things that you believe in, the stories, why am I like this? Should I be like this? I should have a husband at the age of 27. I should have already 3 children. All of this, right? They're all beliefs. They're all just stories that kept on being repeated until they became part of our existence and part of our body. But then it's all about just like, okay, let's strip this. Do I really am I really what is this? Am I really believing in this? How am I, so, and then it's all about reconnecting to the body so we can then look at the program, start filtering and removing the program through breathwork, journaling, meditation, and obviously having a good coach, a good guide that will support you on that journey, that you can trust, that you feel like this person understands me, understands my challenges, understands what I'm talking about, or feels this difference between the mind and the body, and then start having this joyful ride to bring in new beliefs, new thoughts. And of course it's going to be, well, again, you see, I'm stopping myself. I'm like, of course it's going to be challenging, but does it have to be? Well, the thing about it is, it will be. I think it will be, because if you've been programmed for 20, 30, 40 years of your life, give yourself patience to rewire, and it will take time. You will not change your entire state just in a matter of a week. You can definitely move to another country and sort of be like, oh yeah, now I'm a yogi, or you've never done yoga before, for example. Oh, now I am this, or you've never done something before. Yes, you can do that. But then comes a moment where you're meeting your family, or you go back to your country, and suddenly all the old triggers show up. And all that stuff just keeps, and that's okay. Just be with them, because then you see like, so I have to work through that. And then that work becomes actually joyful work.
So you have mentioned multiple times connected to your body, and I feel, for me at least, this comes mostly through dance, because whenever I get into this improvisation, dance flow, it's sometimes just a piece of music that just activates me, and then I just go into the flow. I don't care what is happening, and kind of the thoughts disappear. So for me, that's a good way how to connect with the body and stop the overthinking mind. What are the ways for you, and what do you teach other people?
I love that you just touched on dance, because everyone should use dance in their daily practices. Have a tune, a 3-minute to 5-minute tune, that you can change that tune every day, but be in that tune, dance. Like I always like to say, like everyone's watching, not like no one's watching, because that is.
I like this as well.
Yeah.
It's everyone is watching, and
Everyone's
I don't
watching.
care.
Yeah, and why I say that, because so many people cannot dance. You know, they might be in a wheelchair, in the hospital. Just so dance for them. Dance for those that are not here anymore. Dance for your grandparents. Dance, just dance. Like we've been told so many times, just stop dancing. Stop making a fool out of yourself. Again, right? So stop. No, this has to stop right now. So find a tune that you're going to connect with, and then let yourself go in the dance. And I would definitely recommend people to close their eyes and be with their breath and be with the dance, be with that experience. And from that state, manifest. So from that state, imagine how you would be dancing with your partner. From that state, imagine how you would have a villa. From that state, imagine how you would be the most sought after speaker. Whatever your desires are, whatever you want to bring in, because the body will remember, the body wants this. The body feels it. The body remembers your abundance. The mind has created limitations and blocks. And again, there's no evil here. There's no mind or mind is worse than the body. No. They can work together. They can cheer for each other. Absolutely, yes. But once you understand that it's all about rewiring, reprogramming, reconditioning, then it's going to be a joyful journey. So what I always like to do is bring people into the body through movement, right? Shaking, dance, strength training, aerobic, HIIT exercises, whatever brings you in the body. Because then you can start observing the mind, and then you can start also seeing how, you know, some of the thoughts that you might be having are just so absurd. For example, oh, I can't run. I'm already so exhausted. For example, you're on a run, you're doing 2K, right? Something might kick in. You'll be like, oh my God, I can't. This is not for me. I'm not a runner. Who am I fooling? How do I look? I look stupid. Oh, I'm sweaty. Oh, my makeup is gone. If you wear makeup, for example. Yeah. Like, right? We all had this. Oh my God, my shoe is now, oh my God, I need to buy new shoes. I cannot run because I should buy new shoes. I need trainers. But what you have to do in that moment, when a thought appears, and that's in training, in dance, oh my God, somebody's watching. Oh my God, I look probably stupid when I watch or when I'm dancing. Override it by doing it more. Dance even more. Don't dance even crazier. Work out even faster. Run even faster. Outrun your mind. Dance out your mind. Just be faster than that chatter, because the body can.
I used to be a runner, long distance runner, so I was running hours and hours. And when I was doing this, I was also emptying my mind. I was never listening to any music while running, and everything was always clicking into place. And nowadays, I started running a little bit again, but as I've been in bodybuilding for years, I'm not as fast as I used to be. So now I'm like, okay. And I don't run as much as I used to. I'm not gonna go to have like 2.5 hours running like outside of the city. Now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And in the beginning, it might be like, oh my God, only 3 minutes have gone. It's like, I hate this. But it's like, then I get to 18 minutes, I do 20. Oh, let's try 25. Let's try 30. Let's try to get to like 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers. So I actually keep convincing myself during the process. So once I get started, once I'm like being the catalyst for myself, it kind of builds momentum and I keep going. And even as some days I'm like, oh, today I don't really feel like it, I'm gonna do 20 minutes and I end up doing 45. It's like double and even more. Just because I'm like going and going a little bit more to the next corner. Oh, it's 5.8 kilometers. Let's do 6. It's only 200 meters.
Exactly.
You keep convincing yourself.
Yeah, that's what it is. You keep convincing yourself, but also you keep taking action. Like that is the biggest thing also in law of attraction, is the word action. That's, part of attraction, action, right? It's not about you wishing and hoping. That's exactly why I created the concept strength meets mindfulness, where I love strength training. I love the gym. The gym serves as mental therapy for me. The body is an effect of obviously consistency, knowing what I'm doing, quality over quantity, and really being in the body as I train. That's why I love so much training. But it can be also your identity when you say, I don't like the gym, everyone's watching me. That's an identity. You don't have the identity of an ultra marathon runner anymore. That's why it's probably more challenging for you. You're more in an identity of a bodybuilder, and that's amazing, so and that's why we should, this is change. This is coming back from as we started. This is where we should constantly be evolving and changing and shifting.
In small
shape
ways.
shifting, absolutely, in small ways, and then see as well, what identity serves you right now and who you want to be right now in this moment. But the concept of strength meets mindfulness is exactly that, where you can strength train, be mindful, be aware, and observe as well the thoughts that are showing up. Oh, why am I doing this? I look silly. Like, because all these little mini phrases, if we can catch them, we are, it's 1-0 for us, 2-0 for us, 3-0 for us, where to be like, I'm winning here. I can see, like, for example, this was a big shift for me. I believed for so many years that people, that when they go to the gym and they look at themselves in the mirror, they are narcissists and they are just in love with themselves and make fun of everyone else. When in fact now I have this beautiful relationship with myself, that when I look at myself in the mirror, it's not even I see the body, but I'm proud of myself. I'm like seeing all the sweat and all the tears and all the all the falls and all the breakdowns that I had, and I'm like, wow, you're still here. You're showing up for yourself. Well done.
And you also went through the competitive bodybuilding phase, during which it's very important to look at yourself in the mirror. You're like, okay, how do I pose? How do I look? And it's not about, oh my God, I'm so sexy. Very often it's more like, oh, I need to flex more here because this way my lats are showing or whatever.
It's also not even, because I used to, absolutely, but I also used to think before that if somebody looks at themselves in the mirror, it also shows that they think that they're better than others. When that's not the case. Well, it's not the case. And I've noticed that as well, that first of all, people in the gym, they don't pay attention to you. They're so focused on their own training. Hopefully, if you found someone that was, making comments, or trust me, that was just a 1%. Everyone else is there to really be with themselves, with their body, and do it. But I thought that as well, that if I look at myself in the mirror, it means that I think that I'm so good, but everyone else is so bad. That was my belief. But now I know that, no, I want to lift everyone up. I want to make sure as well that everyone feels so good in the gym. And I like to make actually mini fools of myself. Like, I dance, I sometimes sing in the gym, and because people always have these angry faces in the gym. I'm like, no, I mean, I love training. It's for my mental health, my energetic health, and I do it. And then of course my physical health benefits from it. Absolutely, yes. But for me, it's more about just enjoying the process, and whatever you do, just be enjoy with it. So if you dance, if you do training, if you walk, whatever it is, just make sure that you do it in a high vibrational state, that you're really enjoying it.
I really love looking at myself in the mirror in the gym, and also at some point I was going into like empty dance studio and dancing in front of the mirror. And I love to have this eye contact. And I've also given myself as a gift many different photo shoots, and whenever there's like a mirror and during posing I can see myself in the mirror, everything changes. I have like more confidence. It's not like arrogant, but it's like, I know who I am. So I have like very strong connection with my own identity through the mirror.
Also, remember, this is very important. People will always, every single person perceives you in a different way. Because we're all projections, right? I don't see the same way, this cup, like you see it, right? Your description of that cup might be completely different to what I see, right? And this is not just about the colors, about the shape, but just in general. So if we pay so much attention to oh my God, that person thinks that that I've got a big belly or whatever, right? That's a perception. We bring that energy out. That's then who we become, because we start believing in that. But if we embody confidence and understanding as well that I feel good in my body, this is my body, I feel good in it. However the body has struggled, is looking right now, it doesn't, because we so often want to match a criteria that society has gifted us, which is a joke. It's not a gift, it's actually a curse, by all the magazines, right? And then 99.9% of humanity tries to be that one guy or that one woman who are on the cover of a magazine, or an actor. And if you actually, this is what I love nowadays, if you observe actors or singers, how we've evolved, like everyone's different, right? But every year there's like this, you know, top most handsome man or top most beautiful women. Every year it's a different feature.
Yeah, the sexiest man of the year,
Yeah.
the sexiest
Yeah.
woman of the year, and
And
all
suddenly
that.
you're seeing this person. Next year that person drops to position 10, and the following week, the following year, that person isn't anymore in the top 100. And this is the beauty of, you know, because we're all projections and perception, but how we feel about ourselves is very important. So if you feel good about yourself, you will radiate that. You will build that muscle of confidence in that as well, that I feel good about myself and nobody can criticize me.
In the beginning of 2025, I flew all the way to Miami for Adam Rowa's workshop, and we had this exercise very, like in the beginning when we didn't really know the other people, we hadn't talked to everybody yet. So one by one, each of us had to go in front of the people and just stand there for like a minute or minute and a half, and everybody had like a sheet of paper with different adjectives. And looking at the person in front of you who was just standing, like a little bit uncomfortable, I said, what the hell am I doing? You had to circle some adjectives on the sheet. And afterwards, I got back like 20 different sheets about myself. And I was quite surprised that most people saw me as friendly and fun. I'm like, I thought I was scary. I thought I was like,
There you go.
hard to approach because I'm like closed off and like tough. But yeah, friendly, fun, and the other one was bossy. So kind of still, but I wasn't expecting this, that people see me as friendly and fun. There was no aggressive, for example. Zero. No sneaky, no mischievous, no aggressive, no attractive either, but
Yeah.
friendly and fun. I was like, this is how people see me, okay.
And the thing about it is, they see you there like this. But if you go, for example, to Thailand, people will see you in a different way. If you go, for example, to Berlin, they'll see you in a different way. Again, and that is the beauty of almost being slightly a different persona in every other country. So then that gives you permission to be whoever you want to be.
It was mostly Americans actually, and among these people, I felt like, oh my god, they're all so
Because
open.
you see, because they saw you from the way they see themselves. This is very important. We so often see the world how we are, not how the world is. And this is so powerful to remember this. If you think that the world is there to get you, if you think that people are jealous, that they're envy, that money is evil, that's the way the world will be.
Yeah, so we had talked a lot about the blocks and limiting beliefs, but I want to come back to the start. Initiating a change.
Yeah.
So how do big transformations and shifts come to you? Is it like just, okay, you're always evolving, you're always changing, but the bigger ones, like when you're just, pivot completely, how do you get to this point of, okay, now I'm doing it, now I want to do this? Does it have to be like some kind of trauma for you, or what usually gets you to this edge? What's the catalyst for you?
Change can be either self-brought to your life, or if you don't change enough, not for other people, but enough as life would like you to change, because we are all caterpillars, we all should be turning into butterflies. Life will do something to challenge you, and that change might initially feel like, why am I going through this? This is very challenging, this is very tough. Why is this happening to me? But life wants us to be in discomfort. We so often live in comfort zones, and we stay in these comfort zones for too long. Where life wants you to evolve, life wants you to experience life, life wants you to be joyful, to go out, to be in so many different environments that you will be challenged with the old beliefs about yourself. So in my case, change, the pivoting change, the breakthrough change, because I wasn't listening to my body and I was so in my mind, it had to be an experience that for many is a experience that it's life altering. I think for everyone it's actually life altering. And in my case it was the diagnosis and being diagnosed with cancer, and feeling it really in my body, that the mind and the logics and all the stories that I told myself have brought me to this point now where I'm facing cancer. And because of the disconnection from the body, disconnection from, because stress is built up in the body. Stress, if it's not transmuted, dissolved, used from the body, it will be stuck. It will keep on staying in the body without being able to use. It will manifest itself in something that you will then have to go through, like an autoimmune disease, an illness, oxidative stress, burnouts, cancer. And of course, then there's the additional layer of emotional pain, challenges, and your old stories, unworthiness. If you basically, I feel, if you lost your true voice, your authentic self, your vulnerable self, in the making of who you think you should be for society, so you put on masks, identities, if that then is with the additional stress that is accumulating in your body, you don't have any output, training, running, any way for you to dissolve stress. It will be such an accumulation that the body cannot hold that backpack anymore, and it will finally break down. The body will break down if you're carrying all those stories, beliefs, and then on top of that, you're eating unwell. On top of that, you've got really dysregulated stress, dysregulated sleep. If you're, if you're drinking, if you're, there's just so many then additional things that are making your body go through breakdown, because the body can hold on to so much, and the body can. So many people are living their life for 40, 50, 60 years thinking that, this is exactly what, how I am successful, but I'm wearing a mask. And then suddenly you hear of, and I don't want to, say any names here, but you see most of the successful people, if they have put up with a persona and a mask, eventually it leads them to cancer and then death. And the last thing I want for anyone to be so disconnected from their body, because they've been so carrying the luggage of stories and beliefs and masks, that they have so lost themselves that they will finally break down and will not have time to pivot, will not have time to use it as a breakthrough. So of course, I don't wish anyone to go through diagnosis or an autoimmune disease or illness or burnout. And there's no comparison of your struggles or traumas or challenges. But at the same time, I know that if you don't take action today, the body will finally tell you, you didn't listen, so I need to break down.
You went through something extreme, so that was like this one big transformation. And it sounds that now that you're like more conscious about it, you're more connected to your body, because this changed everything.
Yep.
So from corporate, you became this very body-oriented person, even like who also, of course, connects to the mind and connects the body to the mind. After this big transformation, it sounds that now you're consciously going into the discomfort and going into the change willingly.
Love
the first one was like, you were pushed over the edge, and then you just had to like, okay, I'm gonna fly, otherwise I'm gonna just, The
thing about it is, we will always fly. Like, if the truth is, like, the universe, source, God, Earth, Pachamama, Gaia, whatever you believe in, will always get you to fly. We so often are not taking actions, not changing because we're scared, from fear of our community, our upbringing, our parents, and then our own beliefs. We kind of feel, it's almost like we don't fear failure, we fear success. We cannot see ourselves through the body. Through the mind we can, but then this is how we also started this. If you're not in the body and you don't understand how it would feel in the body to have a loving partner, how, for example, you would share that bed, that meal, that walk, how you would have to, because you will have to not do all the things that you're doing right now because you have a partner. So find the things that you could be doing together. right? Because it's a symbiosis. It's two people living together, and then obviously a child, whatever. Same thing with you know, you might think, oh yes, I want to have $1 million right now. This research shows that 90% of people that win the lottery are losing the money in the first year.
They're not ready for this.
They're not ready because their body is not ready. Their mind is. Their body is not ready because they don't know what to do with that body. So I always like to say, just kind of go a little bit deeper and start understanding that the body is smarter than the mind. The body is a vessel, is a container. It's not a temple. It's a vessel and a container that moves you around, but also carries all that energy and all that story. So for you to feel lighter, you have to unpack it. You have to unpack it through all these practices, you know. And if you right now are for the first time ever listening to breathwork, what is breathwork, or meditation, whatever, this is, you know, that's a story that you have. That's a story that you're not, and maybe even your mind is protecting you. Your ego is somehow protecting you from not going through breathwork or meditation or journaling, because it knows that when you start living this surrendered state and trust and be abundant, it won't have power over you anymore. Because the mind and the ego have power over you. It keeps you safe, but you don't want to be safe. Really, you don't want to be. If you want to change, if you want to make the most out of your life, and remember, you only have this one lifetime. Obviously, we're not going to go into reincarnation. That's not about it. But you have this one lifetime. We have no idea what's going to happen next. And I always like to say this here, and please take a note of this. And you know me from saying this. But what if you die? Right? What if you die? And let's say, you know, there is like a gate, and somebody's at the gate, and that person, angel, whatever, asks you, and how was it?
How was the vacation?
How was it? And you're like, how was what? And they're like, how was heaven?
Yeah.
And you go, that was heaven? This is where I love this concept. But like we so often forget that we all are born, we all die, but what we do in between matters so much. And taking a leap of faith, changing, being willing to change how we feel in the body, how we are in the body, our mindsets, etc. It's the only way, because otherwise there will come a moment where either we will go through a breakdown, or something will happen to the closest member of our family or a friend, you know, maybe a suicide, you know, something that will make us feel like, oh my goodness, I do have this one life. What am I doing with it? And I really would love people not to have to go through something, but actually understand, okay, I can take ownership, and I can take a few steps, small steps, conscious steps towards change. And then start really tapping into the body, see that I'm not the mind, not that mental chatter that is just blocking me, stopping me, but I am in this body, in this incredible vessel, and I'm ready to accept that I am an eternal being in this body, but also I'm limitless and abundant.
You don't have to have this trauma and extreme case of cancer like you had. You can choose change consciously. You can choose, okay, it's scary, but also if I want to have adventures, it has to be a little bit scary, and it will get less scary, I promise.
Yeah.
If you start kind of like doing things, I feel that for me, doing new things is super easy. It's in my nature, but many other people are like, oh my God, you went on bodybuilding states. Oh my God, you ran marathons. Oh my God, you're like moved to another country and you sold everything. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I just felt like it.
Yeah.
And I went for it.
Yeah.
For me, it's easy because it's part of me.
Yeah.
And I kind of acknowledge that, yes, this is me. I'm the person who wants to change all the time, because otherwise I just get bored. And maybe sometimes I might destroy something that is working just because I get bored. So I might even sometimes destroy relationships a little bit just to get some, more excitement.
But nothing is ever destroyed. Energy is not destroyed. Energy is just transmuted. So you can never destroy it. We don't have that power to destroy anything.
Yeah, because it's the Newton's law or something.
Exactly.
Energy doesn't disappear.
Exactly.
It's just going into another form.
Yeah, exactly. So, and this might also be something that might be holding you back. That belief of that you destroy the relationship might be something for you not to be able to get into a new relationship, for example. Or, you might think, oh, well, I already had my chance, I'm not 20 anymore, who am I to write a book right now? Again, that might be such a limiting belief that is holding you back, where in fact all your life lessons have brought you to this point in life. And if you're able to watch this, if you can listen to this, it means that you're alive. And when you're alive, it means that you can take a step towards change and be in that change and then have fun with it. Yes, it's going to be scary. Of course it's going to be scary. Don't think it's not going to be scary. But you know what? Shower yourself with that. Be with that. You know what? Despite the fear, I'll do it anyway. Despite it all, I'll do it anyway. And I refuse to listen to everyone saying that it's not possible, that I can't do it, that I'm too old to that. Today, I'm making a conscious decision that I'm doing it.
It's a lot about the mindset. The mindset, okay, I'm doing it, and then connected to the body.
Yeah, and
right?
then this is the thing. So mindset, yes, I'm doing it, yeah. But then be very observant of when the mind starts saying, "Are you really? Are you sure? Or maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. No." And then tap into the body through breath. Be in the body. This is so easy. This is so simple, and start seeing how we get so frustrated that we cannot stay still or be at peace or rest and we're human beings, not human doings. So this is where the breath awareness, breath work brings us into these states where we're connected to the body, where we're connected to the peace and limitlessness, abundance that we already are. But then the mind starts racing because you're like, why am I doing this? This is silly, this is stupid. No, you're not doing this. And so often we allow the mind to be in the driver's seat and be like, okay, mind, yeah, you're right. I'm not a meditator. No, this is silly. Of course I cannot do yoga. Or no, of course I'm not a dancer. Or who am I to dance? All these things, right? And then the mind is like, haha, I won again. And again, as I said before, the mind is not evil here, but the mind has been programmed to do this. And until you actually get to the point where you can trick the mind, okay? Dance a bit more, run a bit more, breathe a bit more, and be like, you know what, it's fine. I can see these stories, and that's what I do. I love this. Of course, I still have stories, and we all have thoughts. We have 60, 70,000 thoughts a day. So you have these thoughts and these stories, and you're like, okay, oh yeah, I see your story. Okay, connect to the breath. Oh yeah, that's silly. Oh, how stupid is this? Oh my God. Yeah, okay, I can see your story. Okay, it's fine, story. Yeah, okay, connect with the breath. And there comes a moment where suddenly you're shifting. You're like, okay, now I can feel a different way that how I'm breathing the breath in. Like how is that inhale coming in? Okay, interesting. Another story. Oh my God, you forgot to send out the invoice. Oh my God, you forgot. Oh, this is a great idea. Write it down. No, mind, I see you. I see what you're doing. No, I'm going to stay here because that thought will come back to me later. So I am okay. I don't need to write anything down. I can connect to my breath. Oh my God, yes. And it's a full-on script. Yeah. The mind is very clever, and then even more clever. So it will always do this to us. But again, it's a process, and you have time. You have really time. There's no, you can, and this is what I love about my human design as well. Where it gives me permission to really be that, that sought after leader after my age of 50.
Yeah,
right?
Because you had number 6 in your profile and you're just maturing.
Exactly.
And also we both have gift number 5, which is timelessness and marching to the beat of your own drum. I was just reading about these gifts and checking the profiles of my friends, and yes, we both have it.
Amazing.
And this means that we are actually living in our own rhythm. It might not make sense to other people.
Exactly.
And for me, this number 5 actually, it's one of my main gifts. It's like there are like 4 gifts that are more dominant than the other ones, and it's number 5 for me. It was in this section which indicates it's like my essence and my radiance. So for me, it's especially true that I'm supposed to have my own timing and live in my timelessness, and I'm also here to inspire other people to do that. And you also have the gift, so you're also like living in your own natural rhythm. You're doing things at times when it doesn't make sense for other people, and it doesn't have to make sense. And also, of course, this also means that we have like some kind of connection to our routines, but they are ours. Like for example, like the gym routines.
Yeah. If any of you doesn't know what we're talking about, human design, please do check this because it will give you so much permission to be as you are, who you are, because again, there's just so much expectation on how you could be done by society that you feel like you're not like society, you're not like what they're telling you, and actually human design will give you almost permission to be who you truly are.
Yeah, it's like a user manual for you. It's like a blueprint.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't change. It doesn't mean that you can't change throughout the life.
Yeah.
Because for everybody, all these gifts and whatever things, they will be interpreted and experienced in different ways. Your environment, everything has its impact. But it's a kind of a user manual for the human being that you are, and also because it's based on your time of birth and your time of like actually the minutes and the hours and everything. So it's kind of fixed, and it's up to you how to live according to it. And I recently also listened to Jenna Zoe's My Human Design podcast, and she said that actually human design, she's also like very science-minded person, although she's like a human design teacher and she built the app. She also said that in fact,
What's her name?
Jenna Zoe. And she has this very amazing app, My Human Design, that explains everything very, very in a very clear manner. I love it. And she said that, you know, all the personality tests that you sometimes have to do at work, they're kind of like biased in a way, because if the test is like, are you a kind person? Of course you want to say, yes, I'm a kind person. You're kind of like trying to be something, you're trying to have an influence on the result. But human design, okay, it doesn't always tell you all the nice things. There are also the shadow sides, and even the gifts that you have. Everybody has, so there's 64 gifts in total, and everybody has like a mix of different ones. I guess I have like 20 gifts, for example. That's the number around 20. And every gift, yes, it's a gift, but it can also be like a challenge for you. And every gift also brings some struggles with it. So for example, for gift number 5 that we both have, if we have our own natural rhythm, the struggle we might face is that people don't understand what the fuck we're doing. Because we're always like in our own timing and doing something super random, which makes sense for us. And actually it doesn't even have to make sense for us, because it's just kind of inner knowing, not coming from the mind, but coming from the body, and trusting this timing. It's like, it can be scary because people might reject you and misunderstand you, and like, what the hell? And it's hard if you have your own natural rhythm. It's hard to fit into this box of 9 to 5, for example.
Yeah, and this is the beauty, that we live in a time where, you know, mindfulness meets science, and where we've got human designs, Ayurvedic systems, energy types. Like, we've got so much tools out there to give us more clarity on who we are as we are, and give us more permission to be our truest, most authentic self. So, but the truth is, and of course, if you're listening to this, you know this for sure, that the mind can only, the thoughts, the mental chatter can only bring you to a certain moment. But after that, you're stopped. It's almost like there is no after, because it's almost like, well, this is it. This is kind of like, this is the logical ego interpretation of my life, or projection of my life. And of course I can only do this job for the rest of my life, because you're not in your body. And when you're in your body and you're really connected to your dreams, your goals, well, you're mainly your dreams and your desires when you were a child, when you can come back to that playfulness and curiosity, you can start really seeing that you've always meant to be playful, curious, joyful. You're meant to live this one lifetime to the fullest. And whatever the fullest means for you, it's not about, you know, you're now dropping and leaving everything, but just be more aware and be open to question. That's all if there's one thing that I can get anyone to listen to this, me included, you included, to get out of this conversation, is just question your stories, beliefs, ideas, visions, what your body is telling you. You know, if you have a gut sensation, or if you feel like, oh no, I feel in danger here, be with that. You know, we've got all these systems inside of us that are really working in our favor. If we can just tap into that, if we can become one with the body, because then the mind becomes a cheerleader to what the body wants to do. It's almost like there is this, nearly like the body, like, you know, puts an arm around the mind. It's like, come on, it's okay. I know you're fearing. I know you've got your limitations. I know you got your stories, but you know what? You can do this. You can do this, and we were going to prove, because we're going to be committed and we're going to trust, and we will do this. And that is, from that initial moment of questioning, you can then start living a life beyond your wildest dreams.
Yeah. For a moment, I want to come back to breathwork, because you are a breathwork master. You are doing this a lot, and I feel that many people might have a lot of misconceptions about breathwork. So I guess people very often think that, okay, breathwork, it means like, breathing very fast, and I know that you are the opposite.
Yeah.
So just enlighten us a little bit.
Breathwork is so life altering and transformative for you to experience in any moment or any given day, because it can literally change your state from calm to energized, or from energized to calm, whatever you want. So everyone now uses obviously the word breathwork, and it's just a bunch of breathing techniques basically, and you can get into these states. There is mouth breathing as well. Absolutely, there is also time and space for mouth breathing, but there's also, especially for people that are living in places like the Western culture, or just in capitals or in bigger cities, where our nervous system is already so activated that we don't need further activation, and mouth breathing is very activating.
So it is
exactly, so
that's activation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you can start observing your breath first, so become breath aware, and start changing as well the pattern of your breath, meaning if you can start breathing in and out through the nose, calm and soft, breathing into your belly using your diaphragm, and then out through the nose as well. That's the default state, how the body wants to breathe, how your energy is in that state. You breathe in and out through the nose.
Would you recommend also putting on the mouth tape to keep the mouth closed?
If you have a tendency to mouth breathe, or if you got a really challenge to breathe through the nose, absolutely yes. Yes, it is safe to do so. Nothing will happen to you. You're not going to suffocate. That's not possible. But that's especially throughout the nighttime for sleep, I would recommend it, because there is a beautiful system that happens in our body between around the hours of 4 a.m. and 7 a.m., where our entire system nearly like reboots and resets itself, like our respiration, our digestion, cortisol goes on the rise.
So it was between 3 and 7.
3, 4, and 7 a.m.
Yeah. And this night my cat was waking me up at 5, so he was disrupting my cycle of restoration.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the time as well where our body becomes in tune with the circadian rhythm, with day and night, and cortisol starts rising, so it will be easier for you to wake up. But there are a lot of stuff is going on in the body, so especially if you're so prone to mouth breathing, and we all are now, we're talking, so we are mouth breathing all the time. So if you're talking a lot, you're a mouth breather. Also, when you eat, you also breathe through the mouth. So as often as possible, if you can just revert back to nasal breathing only, and see as well, observe how calmer you become. Just breathe into the belly, expand the belly. You can expand using the diaphragm, and just slow, controlled out through the nose. Mouth is shut, just breathe and see how slow and calm, because the perfect human being should breathe less, should breathe like they're not breathing at all. That's what Lao Tzu used to say, and it's so powerful. And the perfect human should breathe 6 times a minute.
I'm doomed.
No, you're not doomed. You're not doomed. We can always reset. You can always change the way you've been breathing so far, and reset your nervous system, your respiratory system. So if you even breathe in on a count of 2 and out, the exhale should always be longer. Exhale for 4. There's a natural pause that comes. Then you breathe in again. This is a very interactive moment. But basically what we're doing, if you're listening to this as well, if you just calmly, softly, smoothly breathe in through the nose, into the belly, and out through the nose, but longer and softer, this should be your default way of breathing. And then there's the natural pause that happens. And through breathing techniques, you can extend the pauses, you can extend the breaths, and it is possible to just breathe 6 times a minute.
According to my watch, so it's measuring at night my heart rate and breathing. I breathe like 14, 15 times a minute. And I've always had like very runny nose as well. So it's also quite narrow, so the air is not really moving freely. So can I do anything with it?
Well, the thing about it is, it's like with breathing techniques, and because you've asked me about breath work, so what you really want to do, and this is what I always advise people to do, is breathe in as calm as possible through the nose. There is these nasal strips now as well that are opening up the nose. That you can definitely use. It will help by all means, yes, for also not only filtering the oxygen that you breathe in, but also to release the nitric oxide that is in the nasal passages. And nitric oxide is a very powerful gas that we don't talk enough about, but the nitric oxide is an anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antioxidant. That is a gas that actually helps with distribution of fresh oxygen to the active tissue, to your muscles, through the red blood cells, and it helps then release that with CO2. So nitric oxide and CO2 release the fresh oxygen into your active tissue. I'm geeking out about this because I love this topic. I love it because it's just so powerful to know that we have this system in us. Our body can heal itself if we can be in the body. That's why I'm so obsessed about being in the body, because I know that I have stem cells in us. Everyone has stem cells in my body, and stem cells are healing, rejuvenating in the areas where wounds, where healing needs to happen, inflammation, etc. So if you can just even focus on breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, that's well done, phenomenal. If you can become aware of your breath, especially in the morning, and just calm your nervous system. And quite often I always like to say, close your eyes whenever it's safe to do so, because we so often are with the perceptions, projections that are outside, and the inner world is sometimes so much more beautiful to tap in rather than the external world, if we don't accept our external world just yet, because after a while we will. But the inner world with the breath and just continuously flowing, it's amazing. And then there's so many different breathworks, and that's what I facilitate and teach and guide people in one-on-one journeys, in group sessions, corporate events. Breathwork for businesses is one thing that I teach at team meetings, leadership conferences, where we can tap into the body through the breath and to the mind. It's a hack. Breathwork is a hack for you to bypass the narrative, the stories, be in the body, and then use different breathing techniques to get us in the desired state.
And also, if
Activation
you talk about it as a hack, I guess it's also it's easier to accept it as human beings, especially in corporate. Oh, it's a hack. Oh, my productivity increases, my focus increases. Oh yes, give it to me.
100%. Because it is. This is the real biohack. Breath work and breathing techniques and being aware of the breath is definitely something that you want to practice, because it will make you so connected to yourself, to the body, and then to the mental chatter that is happening, that you will realize that is not you. And then, as I mentioned before, if you want to feel more energized because you need to be more activated, you can do that through breath work. If you want to be more calmer, mindful, more stable, peaceful, loving, you can do that as well through breath work. So there's just so many different powerful ways to connect through the breath to your energetic state and to your overall health, because there's just so many benefits for the physical health, for you to breathe a certain way, for you then, because only like a couple of minutes a day will literally make you get a fresh dose of neurotransmitters and hormones. And dose stands for D, dopamine, O, oxytocin, S, serotonin, and E,
I want to say epinephrine, but
no, endorphins.
Yeah.
So we got this is what breathwork can do, and somatic moves, dancing, and breathwork, and it can do that. So this is the daily dose that we all can really bring out in our body, so that it can serve us. Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins.
Yeah. One more thing about breath work. Is it really work?
Well, yeah, because you have to take action. So this is the difference between breath awareness and breath work, where you have to bring in a technique for you to first consciously manipulate, but manipulate has obviously a strong and evil almost
Effect.
connotation, right? But a controlled way of breathing for you to get into a certain state. So it is work. Yeah, it's work.
It is work.
It's work. But then don't do overtime. Okay.
No burnouts.
No burnouts, because it's also possible if you do too much of it. You know, and I have clients like this that would like to get into these higher states or altered states right now, here, now, boom. No. Peacefully and calm, you will be able to shift and reprogram yourself, and breath work will definitely help.
Oh wow, okay. So maybe people are afraid of it because it sounds like work, it sounds like something hard. Is there a fun way to do breath work? Breath fun?
They also are afraid of it because it's the unknown. People are quite afraid of anything that they don't know. Like if you've never traveled, you're going to be afraid of traveling. If you've never gone on a date after a broken marriage, you're going to be fearing that because it's the unknown. How will it be? Same thing with breathwork, or if you've never used any techniques or connect to your breath and you believe in this kind of thought of but I breathe anyway, so what's the point of breathwork? You will feel like this is not something that I want to do because it's unfamiliar. Whatever is unfamiliar, you don't want to do. But then becoming first breath aware is powerful. And yeah, of course, breathwork can be fun if you put the right music to it. And this is how I guide people as well through these journeys, which I call journeys with mind your breath, with the certain types of breathing added to brainwave stimulation music. Your nervous system, of course with my voice and guidance, your nervous system will actually appreciate and accept that this is something that it wants to do. Of course it's fun. It's super fun. It's like the most enjoyable thing. If you start understanding that you have that power in you, and just by a couple of practices, like in a day, breath awareness, movement, somatics, journaling, breath work, wow, you can actually be a superhuman because you are. You are a superhero.
So maybe they just need somebody, a catalyst like you, to start this journey.
Yes.
To breathing.
Contact me.
Yeah, so where can people find you?
Well, different social media platforms people can find me from Instagram, MIFit_coach. MIFit stands for mindful fitness. MI, and also it's a nice, not only a portmanteau of the words mindful fitness, MIFit, but also Am I fit?
Am I?
Am I fit?
Am I fit?
Am I fit?
Ah.
Am I fit coach? LinkedIn, my full name, Piotr Ciepiel, and of course as well through the website, Am I Fit Coach, all together, no spaces here.com. By all means, feel free to reach out, send a message, say as well in the DM where you have found me and what has been the greatest, I don't know, lesson, story, or thing that you didn't know that that kind of really resonated, or that made you want to change, want to take action, and want to be the catalyst as well. And maybe, as you said, you want to experience breathwork, and then we can definitely go through a breathwork journey together.
Yeah, and people can also have you as a speaker on stages and events and workshops and everything.
Absolutely. If anyone wants to dive deeper into subjects like unpacking stress, dealing with anxiety, burnouts, cancer, how to bring the productivity of the team up, high performance, catalyst, all of the subjects, all of it, I'll be delighted to be a speaker, a host, workshop, a leader for the company, for the group, because I do travel a lot, and I do events and workshops and retreats all around the world. So if you have a retreat in mind and you're thinking, well, actually this guy, yeah, he would be a nice fit with my retreat, please, connect with me, and I will be very happy to have a call, and we can see where it can bring us.
Yeah. And when is the book coming out?
When is the book coming out? It will be soon. It will be soon. And by soon, I really want to have it out I'm gonna say at the end of February 2025.
Ooh, that's like
Yeah.
1 month.
I know.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but it's like the messaging is concise. I know what I want in the book. I know what the book will be about. So it's all in the making. It's all in the making, and also, my podcast will also be launched soon. But I'm not gonna yet disclose. I know you know,
I know.
but I'm not gonna disclose it yet because I want to have like a nice. Like I'm ready for it. I'm not fearing it. I'm happy for this big shift and pivoting moment for me as well. But I do know that a bit of structure is needed. I cannot just like, I want this. Like, yeah, I know I want this. I said it to some of my dear friends, and Silja is one of them.
Yeah.
So some people already know about it. So I know it's already in the making. It's already, the seed is planted. But now, of course, I do want to have a bit of a structure around it. So it will be an ongoing. It's not going to be like, 4 episodes and then what now? No, I want to have more of a, okay, let's see where it goes.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm so excited. No, because everything as well that I do, it's just so connected to who I really feel like I am, and what I always wanted to bring out in the world, and how I want people to feel about themselves and in their body and with their mindset and a mental chatter. And from Unpack Yourself programs, the mentorship that I do for a healthier body, calmer mind, energetic shift, that's the Unpack Yourself. Then the Strength Meets Mindfulness, workouts, trainings, group sessions, individual sessions, to mind your breath, with breathworks, guided sessions, to speaker events, hosting retreats on the healing journey, and the podcast. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense for me.
It's all you.
It's all me. It's all
And
me.
you're living according to your own natural rhythm, marching to the beat of your own drum. So it has to make sense for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And probably soon I'll be acting as well. So I'll be in acting school as well. Well, not even acting school. I'm already prepared. Life has prepared me to as an actor. So I'm just gonna be suddenly as well. Acting.
Yeah, why not? Okay, thank you. Amazing.
That was amazing. Many blessings to everyone. If you're watching, if you're listening to this, many blessings, and truly believe that you can have it all and manifest and believe from a higher state of consciousness connecting to your body. And any chatter that is happening in your mind, any thoughts that are showing up, question them. Question them without self-hating yourself, self-sabotaging yourself. Question them and just see why or how these thoughts became your identity.
Yes, you can have it all, but you've got to start somewhere. And if you need a catalyst, talk to me or talk to Piotr, and
Exactly.
or I can just get you started and then he will take over.
100%.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Kogi. Oh. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.